My God, I'm so sick of mainstream body positivity because most mainstream body positivity is just straight sized people reassuring other straight sized people that they aren't fat. It's just a bunch of people saying things like, you're not fat, you're bloated. You're not fat, that's where your uterus is. Literally any excuse just to reassure their followers that their worst fear hasn't come true. So I just want to be really clear about something. I am not interested in soothing your fear of being fat. I am interested in creating a world that has no reason to fear fatness. I'm interested in seeing fat people treated with dignity and respect. I'm interested in seeing fat people gain access to the rights and resources we're currently denied. I'm interested in seeing fat people gain full and uninhibited access to healthcare, employment, travel, clothing, and more. That world is possible, and that's what we should be working toward.
If we're being completely honest, fat phobia is all about aesthetics. You could literally lose a ton of weight due to a life-threatening illness, and people will be like, oh, you look so healthy. How did you do it? How'd you lose all that weight? Bitch, I almost died.
What brings you in today? I'm about 32 weeks pregnant. I just lost a bunch of weight because I had the flu really bad, and my primary doctor is worried about that and wanted me to schedule to come in today to just make sure I was gaining some of that weight back. I see. Have you ever considered walking for weight loss? Gosh, you know, my neighbor has an awesome walking program that she follows. Let me look it up for you. No, wait. My doctor was concerned because I lost weight and I needed to regain some back for baby. That's why I'm here today. You know, let me look this program up for you. It's going to be such a game changer for you. Just really gentle, great way to lose weight. Speaking of which, what did you eat today? I actually have an eating disorder where part of it I struggle with restriction. I have a great nutritionist and therapist. This is making me really uncomfortable. Here's that walking program for you.
When people tell me that I need to exercise more, I remember that I was an elite athlete for 18 years in one of the hardest sports in the world, and then got a full ride scholarship to a Division I school, and then played professionally in France. So no, I think I'm good, Todd. Jump in the water and I'll fucking kill you. Happy New Year.
Why I think your fat phobia has nothing to do with health, a personal experience. When I was 15, I joined one of those diet plans that requires you to only eat 1,200 calories a day and work out a ton, and I lost a lot of weight in a very short amount of time. I also developed eating disorders, specifically anorexia and bulimia, and although they started because I so desperately wanted to lose weight, they continued because I was terrified of gaining that weight back, not because of how I looked, not because of how I felt, but because of how I was being treated. Because for the first time in my life, classmates, strangers, boys, and even family were treating me like an actual human being. But eventually I wanted to stop. I didn't want to have these eating disorders anymore. So I started to confide in people. And the overwhelming response was, at least they worked. Because when you're fat, an eating disorder isn't treated as such. It's treated as a solution, despite it being totally destructive.
Let's talk about the trendiness of flat stomachs. I'd like to preface this video by emphasizing that I'm in no way trying to attack people for having flat stomachs, but rather critique and analyze the fat phobia surrounding our obsession with flat stomachs. I specifically chose the term trendy because flat stomachs are often viewed as something that complements or completes an outfit. This is evidenced by honestly just fashion in general. Besides the fact that fashion typically caters to thin people, a lot of outfits and trends are usually only seen as fashionable on people with flat stomachs. This tweet is a great example. When a thin celebrity wears an oversized t-shirt with high-waisted denim shorts, people think it's effortless and fashionably casual. But when fat people wear the same outfit, they're considered outdated or unstylish, which honestly just reeks of fat phobia and classism. You might be wondering, what does this have to do with flat stomachs? Due to the idealization of thinness, a lot of outfits are only seen as cute when they're paired with a flat stomach. Whereas if anybody with a non-flat stomach wore the same thing, they would not get the same response.
In 1998, millions of Americans became obese and overweight overnight. Sorry, what now? Yeah, and the National Institutes for Health changed the BMI classifications based on research funded by weight loss drug companies. Say more right now. The classification change was based on a World Health Organization report that was written by the International Obesity Task Force. Want to take a guess at who funded the research for the International Obesity Task Force? Not weight loss drug companies. Oh my god, you guessed it. Who would have thought that even the obesity epidemic that conveniently supports the diet culture industry was made up for what? For profit. So never forget that.
So I was thinking recently about fat phobia and how it is witnessed in our everyday lives. My friend had made comments about how gross she felt because she gained weight and she had to buy a new pair of jeans. She was talking about how fat she was and it was so disgusting. And it really made me upset because she's way smaller than I am. And her saying that was letting me know that one of her biggest fears is looking like me. Now, I know that if I said that to her, she would be devastated and she would apologize and she would never mean that in a hurtful way, you know? But that's what her words were telling me, and that's what fat phobia is in our society. It's underlying, it's there constantly. I know my friends love me, but I also know that one of their biggest fears is that they could look like me. They could have my body. And that sucks.